In this video walkthrough, we're going to install and configure the Postal Address Autocomplete for WooCommerce plugin by Power Plugins. To run through this tutorial, you're going to need a copy of the plugin, obviously, from powerplugins.com, and you're going to need a Google Cloud API key that's configured correctly for your site. In this tutorial, we're using a localhost dev site, which is probably what you're going to be starting on, but the instructions are basically the same for a production site. The first thing you need to do is get your Google Cloud API key if you haven't already got one. We've got the Cloud Console up here. We've created an API key and we've restricted it to only be accessible via these websites. Leyland is the name of my development machine. So I've said that only web requests coming from leyland.local and Leyland are able to use this API key. If you're installing this on a production site, then obviously you only need to put in your https://mywebsite.com/star. We also need to restrict the API key so that it can only use certain APIs. In this case, we need to access Maps JavaScript API and Places API. So for localhost dev, we've got two website restrictions. They're actually HTTP referrer restrictions, and we've got two API restrictions. When you've got your key configured, save the changes, and you'll see you've got this API key here that we're going to copy to the clipboard. Right, so let's go to the tab that's got our development site on there. This is a pretty basic shop that I just use for creating tutorials with. So if we go into our shop, we've got two dummy products. I'll just go and put a hoodie in my basket here. Add to basket. View the basket. Got one item in here. We'll proceed to the checkout, and we've just got a standard checkout here. At the moment, we've not installed the Address Autocomplete plugin. We've just got a basic WooCommerce checkout. So let's go into the back end of the website and install the plugin. So we'll just go to plugins here, add new, upload plugin. Here's the current version. On the 19th of March 2023, the current version is 1.0.2. We'll upload that, install it now, and activate it. You'll see we've got a notification here about this is missing a license key. And we're not going to put a license key in for this at the moment because we're only on localhost dev. The license key is only needed if you need to do automatic updates. Now we can go to Settings, Address Autocomplete. We can paste in our Google API key here, like that. And then we can save the changes. We can leave all these other things as default settings. If we open this in a new tab, we're in the front end of the site. We'll go back to the basket, and then we'll go back to the checkout. We should see we've now got search for your address. And we can do an address lookup. It's picked up UK addresses because the country has been set to UK. We say Germany. And then we say 1, 2, 3. We have German addresses. That's all there is to it. But we can actually do a little bit more than that. If we go back into the configuration screen, we can add some colors into here. So for the background color, we're going to try and make it stand out from the rest of that boring checkout form a little bit. We'll give it quite a light green color, and we'll give it a little border, 3 pixels, just to make it stand out a little bit. That's probably a bit much, isn't it? Save those changes. We're back to the checkout. Proceed to checkout. That might be a bit heavy, but it shows you how easy it is to change the layout of this thing. We've also got an option where we can inject an SVG icon into just before this search bit here. So if we go to Font Awesome, you can use any SVG icon source, but it's fairly standard. We'll search for search, and then we'll use this icon here to copy the SVG code. Rather than this, we want this. And then we'll paste that into the box here. And then the plugin will detect this code and inject it into the search box. And there we have it. If we scroll down and say we want to deliver to a separate address, you'll see we've got the search box in here as well. And if we also go to the My Account area and addresses, if I go into here and add a billing address, we can also use the address lookup in here. So that makes it a very nice little feature. Let's just double check the checkout still works, because whenever you do anything that changes the checkout on your shop, you should always just double check everything. Cash on delivery, address details are all filled in. Let's just change that to United States. Let's put 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So that's the White House, and then we'll just say place order. No shipping method, because my store's not configured to ship to the United States. That's the search box, 123 Buckingham Palace Road. Place order. Nice and easy to configure. The only real tricky bit is making sure that you've got the API key from Google configured correctly. And that involves getting your HTTP referrer restrictions correct and the selected APIs correct. That's all there is to it. Thanks for watching.